Put Kimba at the 2, that's why.
Here are the 5 for the Raptors. Calderon and DeRozan are the guards. Amir Johnson is out there at Gray, and it's Johnson in at the 3 slot. And for the Bobcats, Augustine and Henderson are the backcourt pair. Byron Mullins is out there with Bismack Biyombo, and it's Brown in at the 3, the small forward. Now here's Johnson.
Well, it was a tough season last year for Charlotte. Not making the playoffs. Really struggling after surging the previous couple of years.
Yeah, be careful with this guy.
Did not help.
Looking at who's out there now for the
Well, he's not using it.
Tyrus Thomas is checked in for Biyombo, and it's Williams in for Derek Brown. And DeRozan kicks to Johnson. Another shot. Now the dish to Calderon. DeRozan goes back up. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Stands here now for a 3-point play. With the Bobcats in the Eastern Conference, part of that is just also the division that they play. Very, very difficult.
Yeah, hard as heck, Kevin. I mean, 30 losses against the East, but that's understandable when you have to see the Heat, Magic, and Atlanta Hawks. Overall playoff team.
Thomas passes the pick. Charlotte again missing.
Still looking for that first bucket here to start the game.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. I caught up with head coach Dwayne Casey.
That's a good thing. I broke that bucket.
Game plan tonight, with the reason being limiting their shot blockers. He said if we go straight up on them, they'll turn us away every chance. If we get their bigs moving and playing,
You got Forbes too. Forbes.
That's our goal. Guys.
All right, Doris, thank you. Taking on a defense like that one they're facing today, Clark has certainly got their attention.
And you know, I think they're going about it the right way. I mean, they need to dictate what they do offensively instead of taking what's available. Take what you want.
Steve?
Well, that's the only way to go. I mean, this is a game about aggressiveness. And if they're not aggressive, that defense is going to follow.
Came hard off that pick and finished strong.
He may not have the elevation or the height. He doesn't need it, though. Big fella throwing it down anyway.
He usually does send the high flying from little guys. Clark, you're right.
You know, sometimes it looks like he's pinned to the ground, but in a position like that, he can put it down.
And the Raptors making a change here. Forbes checked in. It's been a quick start here for Toronto. It's called for the reach. That is his first foul of the game. DJ White, he's checked in for Charlotte. Henderson comes in for Walker. There's Calderon. He dishes it to DeRozan. Feeds to Forbes. Augustine with the steal.
For the most part, they're doing a nice job of taking care of the ball.
Here's DeRozan. Dishes it to Forbes. Off the screen. DeRozan throws it down hard.
Well, he took that one to the rack with some purpose.
Also, beautiful done there, Steve.
Yeah, how about the agility? Just the power and the skill. Impressive.
That's good from DeRozan.
Well, when you look at the Raptors' 16-year history in Toronto, I think the big concern is whether the team can retain its stars. You look at Jason Brady, Vince Carter, Chris Bosh, all great players who decided they wanted to move on. So can Toronto hang on to its own players? That's the big question going forward.
Forbes dishes to DeRozan. Toronto calls timeout.
I think Coach saw a couple of things he wanted to correct. You got to make sure everyone's following the game plan.
Charlotte making some changes. Reggie Williams is checked in for White, and Walker subbed in for Gerald Henderson. And Davis is checked in for the Raptors. Calderon kicks to DeRozan to the inside. Johnson. And the layup is good. Lamar Johnson's got his first basket. Well, and for some of the players who left Toronto, some of them mentioned the higher Jacksons, even the culture clash. Didn't like cable TV. I mean, they're picking on a lot of other things here, but what do you think really is Mark the answer for the NBA, not only in Toronto, but in Canada?
Well, Kevin, I don't think it's the city of Toronto. I mean, that's a pretty vibrant metropolitan area, terrific diversity of a lot of things to do. I think the bottom line is the players feel that they can win.
I don't know.
If the
Tell you the
Raptors
truth.
don't want to hang around.
Yeah, and they have good restaurants up there, too.
Yeah, good eateries. I knew you would chime in
Nope. See?
about that.
Who you like them?
I knew you would chime in about that grub.
What the fuck?
Here's DeRozan. 6 points for him. He's picked up by Walker. Here's Johnson.
You should have said that. Yeah.
Cats trailed by 5. Here's Carroll. He's got 7. 13 feet out. Here's Mullins. The second chance bucket is good. Here is Calderon. 3-point lead. Here's DeRozan. Pushes it down.
Well, he got enough anytime there to put a little something extra on that one. 2 scoops of ice cream after that.
Well, that's a, it's going to be remembered from this game. That's
I think that was more like a banana split, Buck.
a chance and a 2 for 1 if they want.
No question. On that, definitely going 2 for 1.
And that one falls for Davis.
Ed Davis, a southpaw big man out of North Carolina, had a pretty good rookie season for Toronto. Did a nice job on the offensive glass, shot 58% from the field. So he is expected to be a major factor for Toronto in the future.
Jamario Moore, he's checked in for Reggie Williams.
Woman.
Here's Carroll. Off target from outside.
You know, even though he missed that 3-point shot, I think the defense has to do a better job of challenging the shot. Yeah, because you know, if you continue to give up open looks like that, you're in big trouble.
Bargnani is checked
I'm
in
just
for
trying to
Ed
take the
Davis.
ball out from his hands. So we don't do no dumb shit.
20 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's DeRozan. Sticks it from 17 feet. DeRozan's got 10.
He's put on an offensive clinic. They've got to deny him the ball. And if that fails, then double him, Steve. I mean, they can't allow him to continue to hurt him like this.
3 seconds.
That was cool.
Perfect inbounds play there. He couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Knocked away. The offense coming crazy as we wrap up the first quarter. Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. Here is Calderon. 9-point game. So the Raptors 5 right now. Calderon and DeRozan are the guards. Gary Forbes is out there with Amir Johnson. And it's Bargnani at 7. And another shot. And there's the nice layup by Johnson. Johnson's got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the Raptors.
Now, the Raptors were a team that really liked to get out and run last year, and that'll be the case this year as well. They've got some quick young guards in their backcourt. Last year, they were second in the league in fast break points.
Bobcats making a switch here. Thomas is checked in. Aaron Gray, he's checked in for the Raptors. A chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kevin, Toronto had to endure the loss of yet another superstar as last summer Chris Bosh exited. The trend of big stars leaving Toronto includes the likes of Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, now Bosh, Ido Turkoglu is also a player that got away. The fans above the border hoping that the same thing doesn't happen with their emerging group of youngsters on the roster now. We'll see, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Toronto has had some tough breaks in the free agent market.
You know, you hate to see a city lose so much talent, but I think they'll be able to rebound from it.
Well, certainly, Steve, that Raptors fast-paced style at that high
Throw
ranking in the
down.
league.
Now they're playing so well offensively, and that's
Got a history for that.
Yeah, there's no resting on their laurels. They continue to get after it as if they might even be down. That's how they're playing, with that kind of attitude.
Here's DeRozan. The Bobcats pull it in. Thomas got 3 rebounds now in this one. To stop the run, and he sails in for the layup. Walker's got his second basket of the game.
No prettier shot than the finger roll, smooth and beautiful. It's a joy to see. Kemba Walker out of UConn managed to graduate in 3 years, and after leading the team to the national championship, he saw his draft stock skyrocket. Simply tenacious play out of that young man.
This is some bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
Well, that's what he prides himself on. Hard work under the glass.
Is that a block? Oh, this is this?
In fact, Walker, Steve, part of him leading the Huskies to the title were the intangibles.
Knock down.
He's just such a born leader, and you can see it.
What
his
else?
approach on the floor. Of course, that UConn team is so young.
Cookies.
But, Walker just took charge, took control of that team, and led them to greatness. What a phenomenal season he had.
Here is Forbes. 10 points for him.
Oh, it's me.
Here's Gray, and he makes good on the layup. And the Raptors lead by 21.
Boy,
Not yet, because I fumbled it.
The teeth of the defense and scoring in the paint. And that's been their main point of attack. I mean, get the ball deep and try to score from in tight rather than rely on their outside shooting. I mean, that's a more consistent way to score. Take it inside.
Charlotte calls timeout.
And Charlotte's struggles last season, guys, were really reflected in their play at home. Because in previous seasons, Time Warner Cable Arena was a tough place.
And they got the better team.
But the Bobcats' home record really fell.
What did they do?
Bobcats making a switch here. Henderson's checked in.
Yeah,
The Raptors
this
also with us up. Bargnani's checked in. The shot is off. And Toronto the other way. Steve, that big drop you were talking about at home is one of the reasons why the Bobcats, didn't make the playoffs. But it's not hard to figure out why they didn't make the postseason.
Yeah, you look at it, I mean, that certainly was part of it, not being able to handle business at home. They went from 31
Can I try to post it?
to 21. And they also had some injuries. Stephen Jackson had a hand. Oh, no, big fella. You got to get up a little higher next time, buddy.
Reggie Williams, he's checked in for Cyrus Thomas.
Well, I think last year when the Bobcats traded Gerald Wallace, they lost a part of their soul and their identity.
Yeah, Dirk Brown.
It's tough to win when you lose a guy
Williams,
like that. But they did get a couple of draft picks, and that will help them in this rebuilding process.
Can you post it?
Here's Bargnani. Dunked hard with one hand.
Pass.
He's been key for this team's offense.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to post it.
Distributed the ball. Yeah, the offense is just moving through him, Steve. No doubt.
Haynes gets hauled in by Jose Calderon. And Clark, back to that trade Steve was just talking about. We both like Joe Wallace a great deal. But that's, I think, what was the key when you saw that.
Oh, he's talking about that time. A terrific revert.
You can't help but be amazed by that time.
Man, that's one to remember, huh?
Yeah.
I really don't like what I'm seeing their last couple of possessions, Kevin. That's 2 turnovers in a row. Careless turnovers at that. They're getting a little casual with the ball. They've got to nip that in the bud right now. A lapse in focus there because that looked to be a pretty easy pass to make.
As Thomas is checked in for the Bobcats. Now DeRozan. He's got 12. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Now, the Raptors not only were one of the youngest teams in the league last season, they have been one of the youngest starting fives in league history. Jared Bayless, DeMar DeRozan, Amir Johnson, Sonny Weems, and Ed Davis. The starting lineup averaged just 22 years of age.
Biombo is checked in for the Bobcats. And Toronto also making a switch. Uzo, he's checked in for Gary Forbes. Baseline J. Shots good from Bargnani. Bargnani's got 4 points now in the quarter.
You see very few mistakes from him at that end of the floor.
Of course, the truism in the NBA is that young teams don't win much, but when you keep them together, perhaps that might make a difference. The Raptors hoping their young players, Clark, can turn things around as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you know, they've got some promising players, and I agree with you. Find a young star talent like Kevin Durant. I mean, that's what everybody's looking to try to do now. It's a lot easier said than done, but we've seen if you get that kind of player, things can turn around pretty quick.
Well, the top 4 players for Oklahoma City, for instance, 22 or younger.
Yeah.
So, yes, you're right.
It can be done.
No good on the second free throw.
They continue to pull down misses. That's how they're maintaining this lead.
Yeah, well, one and done is the recipe for continuing to hold on to a lead. You don't want to let the other team back in it by giving them extra possession.
With 2 seconds left.
I'll get my second close-up on
on the
myself.
jump shot. Bargnani's got 6.
Actual setup, post-up, yeah, I didn't give it to me. I didn't give myself.
2K Sports, back in a moment here at the time.
I'm not complaining. Just had to get it myself.